The Namunkekera Industrial Park, also known as the Liangshan Industrial Park in Kapeka, has had successful industrial activity since 2015, when it was launched by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda. However, many Ugandans think that the economic development activity started in this area after the groundbreaking ceremony 8 years ago. The Namunkekera Kapeka land has been a beehive of industrial activity since the colonial times. In the inception of Christianity in Uganda, the Church Missionary Society pioneered religion, education, health, agriculture, business, and governance. The British Protectorate then established a commercial arm in London in 1903, the Uganda Company Limited, to take over the assets of the Church Missionary Society, accumulated during their strategic evangelism and mission. The company's first objective was to acquire and carry on the undertakings which had been carried on by the Church Missionary Society in the Uganda British Protectorate and to provide a business-like solution to the labor question in Uganda. By 1907, Mr. Blodo, a skilled rubber planter from Ceylon, and Mr. Lee Wilson, who had previously been a wheat farmer in Canada, began to develop the Uganda Company Limited estates in Namunkekera, Bulemezi County. Namunkekera was allocated on a 99-year lease to the white owners for agricultural purpose, but they could not get a Milo title on that piece of land since a law had already been passed barring non-Ugandans from acquiring Milo land.
It was originally a property of the Uganda Company. The Uganda Company was the industrial arm of the Church Missionary Society. They acquired this land in 1946. On 20th November, that's when they got a freehold of about 2,200 acres. Later on, 1958, the Uganda Company sold the property to Mr. Prabhudas Karidas Shah for about 130,000 shillings at that time. Then in 1966, an African group called Industrial Coffee Growers purchased it from the Mr. Prabhudas Karidas Shah and managed that entity until that land until 1972, when it was acquired, I think by force, by Eastmengo Growers Cooperative Union, and then we purchased it from Eastmengo Growers in 1997. So all along this Kapeka site has been an industrial estate, so to say, from Uganda Company to PKS to Industrial Coffee Growers to Eastmengo. All of them were basic extractive. Produce cotton, send it abroad. Now the whole scenario in Kapeka has changed completely because we are utilizing local materials to produce locally and regionally consumed products, and even others for export. It started with the cotton and coffee. Later on they had gone into animals. So that's the brief background of the land at Kapeka. The land title now is approximately 78 years old, but the recent transformation as a result of FDI from China is less than 10 years. So the transformation that has taken place there now is because of the FDI, for foreign direct investment. And the local contribution was just land, which we never sold to them. We gave it to them at nominal price so that we are able to attract them into the area.
The Chinese investors in the Namunkekera Industrial Park, also known as the Liaoshen Industrial Park, have set up a chain of industries that manufacture a variety of goods which previously used to be imported but are now manufactured in Uganda for both the local and international market, therefore providing jobs for many youths.
The industrial park right now has access to 1,280 acres, of which I think they have used about 400 acres only, so they still have a lot of land for expansion. From 2006, in the economic development strategy, we planned, and we are still planning to have about 25 such industrial parks like Kapeka. I think like 9 or 10 of them are already active. That is Namanze, Ruzira, Buyikwe, Mbale, Kasese, Lila. There is designated land for Lila. The one of Soroti is active. Mbale is very active. So it's an overall strategy. Kapeka is not in isolation. Then we have got planned ones in Pakwach. There is a planned one in Kisoro. There is a planned one in, I think, Rakai side, Mutukura at the border there. So originally we planned for 25, but I think those ones which are active are 12. And I think the strategy is to complete the 25 by 2030. Guru has bigger chances of a bigger project. Like the Atiak Sugar. Atiak Sugar is one of the biggest investments undertaken in the region. On your way back, I think you should visit the Guru Logistics Hub, because that one is already invested in. Then Pakwach Inland Port, where the railway is going to terminate. The Tororo Pakwach railway line is going to terminate. You could expect a bigger investment in Acholi than that one of Kapeka, especially focusing on the South Sudanese market and then the northeastern DRC. I think there are very, very good possibilities. This is industrialization. It is industrialization so that we can move more people from the agriculture side into industry and services. Because as you have seen in Kapeka, the employees in the park are almost equal to the employees outside the park who are self-employed. The ones inside the park, they are employed by the factories, but the ones outside the park in the service sectors are equally big. So I think the projection looks very good. The projection looks very good, except the cost of doing business in terms of power. The cost of power is still high, and the road infrastructure around the industrial parks is not good, and it has a lot of traffic. But I think the projection looks very, very good.
Uganda is one of the countries attracting the most foreign direct investment, FDI, in East Africa. The country is rich in natural resources, and its geographic location gives it an ideal strategic base to become a regional hub of trade and investment. However, in the fight to improve household income, FDI has a limit.
There is a smaller problem there that however much FDI you get, it cannot fight household poverty in rural areas. That's why you cannot rely only on industrial parks to fight poverty. You must rely on the industrial parks to create products for exports and for import substitution. But we have another medicine specifically for household incomes, and that is the PDM now. That's why for the last 4 years, we have shifted from input distribution to revolving fund of PDM. And so far we have injected, I think, 2.2 trillion, I think, by now into the PDM. Because the FDI cannot fight the household poverty. You must have another channel. The industrial parks will give us jobs, will give us products, but it will not fight that household poverty. That's why we have the parish development model, which has been very successful in many situations. I must also add that there are more industries outside the industrial parks. Like when you are driving along Bombo Road, I think you saw. There are more standalone industries than those in the industrial parks. So the industrialization agenda for Uganda, I think, is on the right track. If you look at those guys who are working in the industrial parks, they have been learning on the job. They were not prepared to work in factories, but the Ugandans are very quick at adapting. All those people you see working in the industries were not trained for that. They have just adapted. Imagine if they had been skilled for that. The output would have been much, much higher.
The government has established over 20 regional skilling centers, which train over 5,000 people who are certified by Directorate of Industrial Training to prepare them for industrial park jobs. Operation Wealth Creation, an intervention to efficiently facilitate national socio-economic transformation with a focus on raising household incomes and wealth creation by transforming subsistence farmers into commercial farmers to end poverty, works closely with the industrial parks.
We made 14 episodes for our work, and we gave it to UBC. We sold it to UBC, but they have not paid us. So you go and watch those films, because there you will say, like now, if you watch the film around the industrial park and OWC, you will see the direct benefit. Because a lot of all the chicken that is eaten in the industrial park, all the posho, all the raw materials, including stones, including those materials they use for ceramics, the labor, I think it has. There is a connection between the manufacturing and agriculture. There is also a connection between manufacturing and the service sector. Now, I think they are trying to add in the tourism aspect, because the trade show, I think, will increase some tourism, industrial tourism aspects. So, I think they have done some good work.
The Namunkikira Industrial Park is set to host a trade show aimed at attracting local manufacturers and showcasing the industrial estate's potential. The event, scheduled for September 27th to 29th, 2024, is a big celebration of 80 years of existence.
The organizers of the show have come to realize that what they are seated with in Kapeka as workers, it's mainly my staff, my senior staff who have worked with me for 10 years. I think out of guilt they have decided to do this, because they have been earning salaries, but now I think they are beginning to pay back. Yes, they are beginning to pay back, headed by Namara, Jocelyn, Deo, all those guys. They know everything that is happening there. Because for me, I have never earned any money from there. For them, they have been earning. So I think now it's time they have thought through they have caucused and they say we should launch this show, which I support very much. Because at least for them now, they seem to have understood that they need to do marketing for the industrial park. And I think they have done it very well this time. But instead of inviting people for free, I think people should have paid to come and see. Because it's not a small exercise to host those people. You know, in the olden times, people used to go to the Kiza in Masaka to see how a small farm can be developed. But now Kapeka is a destination where people go to learn how to industrialize. This was the whole economy of Uganda from 1903 to 1953. And from 1953 other people came into Namunkekere, and then us now. But you should now be careful to watch, because earlier on I had read another book called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Now this seems, Namunkekere seems to be answering that question, but it may be geopolitical again. Because this time it is the Chinese. You have seen the way the Chinese have worked. And I recently, in their FOCAC, the recent FOCAC meetings, I think Kapeka was high on the agenda. So they were projecting it as a success. So the people who have organized the trade show, I wish them all the best. And for UBC, give this show the maximum coverage that you can give them, but also study. Start to deepen your understanding of the economic history of Uganda. Like you have seen here, the land title is 78 years old. It has been used by 4 or 5 groups of people. Now in future we shall be debating who has developed it better than the other one. But all that is enshrined in the subject, in the subject that we are beginning to study now called Musevenomics. Because all this that is happening in the country needs to be studied in the context of Musevenomics, the man who has been driving the economic policies which have shaped our direction up to now, up to this level of now industrial parks. The first principle of Musevenomics is security of persons and property. The second principle of Musevenomics is privatization and liberalization. Number 3 is return of Asian properties, those ones which had been confiscated. Number 4 is diversification of crops. Like now, people in northern Uganda are beginning to grow coffee, and eastern Uganda, which was not there before, so they are diversifying. Then number 5 is regional integration. Number 6, UPE and USE. Number 7 is cost of doing business. Number 8 is something else. There is corruption is number 9. Fighting corruption is number 9. Number 10 is monetization of the whole economy. That is the PDM. Bring everybody who is outside the money economy into the money economy. Then skills development, skilling, like what Kwera was talking about there, skilling of people. Skills, because learning and skilling are two different things. So then number 12, I think, is solving the youth unemployment through industrialization. So Kapeka is part of a bigger thinking, because Kapeka alone and industries alone cannot fight the other homestead income problem. That's why we have the DDM.
The Namunkekere Liaongshen Industrial Park Trade Expo shall bring together local players and potential investors in the industrial zone. All Ugandans should use this opportunity to come see, learn, and appreciate the investments in this industrial park and its significance in the economic development of the country.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. just too selfish? I don't share with no one else. Am I just too selfish?
Don't know anyone who feels so right, yeah. Don't know anyone who makes me.
I had to come to terms with it and realize it's the look inside of your eyes. Something about it got
Sparkle like a star when I dream of you. With you I long to be.
At Uganda Development Bank, we are committed to empowering communities by supporting projects that unlock excellent economic benefits for Ugandans through job creation, tax contribution, output value, and foreign exchange. We seek partnerships with projects that drive economic development in Uganda.
Phase K was started in 2012 with our shoe savings with a capacity of 1,000 bags, and now we have a capacity of 10,000 bags. As it is called mixed farm, Phase K deals in zero grazing cows and in grows seasonal crops, not even forgetting coffee. But the main project or enterprise is poultry. Poultry is the mother of everything. We have been facing many challenges, but the most challenging part was during COVID. COVID hit us very seriously, and that's when I met my savior, UDB. But after getting UDB money with the low interest of it, we are able to go back to the track, and here we are. Actually, we are even expanding. We have a capacity laying bags of 10,000, and we are constructing more poultry houses. The UDB nafunamu because we got the money. Actually, the center has to get with little interest with a great period. So we are able to brood our birds, start laying, and we started paying, and we are paying them well. I think we are good customers.
Max Media Promotion presents Omukwano Kechi Concert, taking place on the 27th of September 2024 at Tavern Woods, Kabusu. There will be exciting performances from Message Semakula, Dovre Lutaya, Winnie Nwaji, Kabuye Semboga, Queen Florence, and Olisha M. Entrance is only 20k ordinary, 50k VIP, and a table at 500,000. For bookings, call 0759-677-502 or 0785-310-388. Come ready to dance the night away from 7 p.m. till late. Sponsored by UBC, Success Motors, Kampala City